Hey guys, this is Andrew Lee with Health Mutual Network and your admin over at the California Insurance Agents Group. And today I have a guest that's been on before, Ty, the insurance guy Perkins.
And the place to
And
be.
yep, there you go. And he's our group's PNC correspondent, I would say at this point, right? Because this is our second video. So the last video we talked about, I mean, we must have done this probably about 7, 8 9 months ago or something like that.
Yeah,
And
something. Yeah.
it was still pretty bad back then, right? With all the workings of PNC, all the craziness of all the carriers just not accepting any products and how you guys have to sell products you guys don't really haven't been
Right.
selling before in your careers. So yeah, I just wanted to get you back on, Ty,
Yeah,
to
man.
sort of give us some insight and have a quick discussion because hey, I don't know if you've noticed since the last time you were on, a lot more PNC people in the group, right? So I
Oh
want,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
know why.
yeah. So I wanted to get you on here so we can either, uplift their spirits by giving them some kind of information for the people that are, have been doing this for a while, like you have. Let's just have a quick conversation of what the heck is still going on
Man.
in the State of the Union of,
Yeah.
of California. So Ty, what's going on now since the last time we spoke? It's about 7, 8 months ago.
So I mean, everything has changed. I mean, like you said, it was pretty intense, in the beginning, mainly because I don't think PNC agents have ever seen anything like this. I think back then we weren't having as long as wait times as we previously had. Now I think what were we saying? Farmers, there's still like 25 days where some people are just completely shut off. Like I just got news that Liberty Mutual word on the streets is Liberty Mutual is out. They've just put a pause on any and all new business. I want to say until 2024. So what we're finding in the PNC side of things on personal lines is the in the auto market is basically there is literally no one that can get you off an auto lot right now in California. So if you're
Wow.
buying a new car, and that's assuming you don't have an active policy already, some but what, 9 months ago, we could get you off the lot. Now, I mean, outside of the rates being, just catastrophic, now there's no one that I'm aware of that can issue, and I believe I want to say maybe Allstate, but even then, you have to bring the car to the Allstate agent's office in order for them to get you, get to insure the vehicle. But outside of that, I haven't found one carrier that can issue same day insurance,
Right. I
which
mean,
is mind blowing.
exactly. Exactly. I mean, I've heard, okay, so I get, maybe Big Red taking down homeowners insurance for agents and sort of making that hard to do.
Yeah.
What's going on with car insurance? I mean, now we have to put down a down payment to get like to save our spot or something like that to get coverage or like
No, I mean, some companies were making it like Travelers and a few other companies were making it where you had to put down a bigger down payment.
yeah,
Most of the carriers I have want the full payment up front,
I gotcha.
literally on auto, or they're just not taking any new business. So when I say we're down to down, you probably
Wow.
got maybe one or two. I know a few agents just in
Wow.
California, personally, they're coming down from all the options they had down to that one carrier and hoping just any day the lights don't go out. But yeah, there's different, expectations now. It's in other words, when I'm quoting someone now and I see, okay, the driving record may be a problem, now they're making you turn in, because when it's all said and done, the minimum wait that I've seen is 10 days, right?
Mhm.
You can, get a 10-day hold, then the policy can be issued. But in some cases, they're going to want 4 pictures of the car, driver's license, picture of the registration, great grandmother's ID, the whole nine. It's getting extensive. Same thing we do with Nationwide. Nationwide, you can still, technically write through Nationwide, but there's going to be a wait and there's going to be an extensive list of things you have to turn in.
Mhm. Okay.
But yeah, a lot of other people are cut off, and on the auto side, it's pretty bad. Because if we get any worse than this, I have no idea what people will do other than maybe go to the state, for
Yeah.
auto insurance.
That's
which, you
insane.
know, those coverages are not good.
That's so crazy. So, what do you think was the genesis of all this? I mean, I get it. I get the, the on the macro level how this is why this is all happening. It's because, there's more people insured than there, there's more, there's more insured people than there are, I guess, the funds to cover them, obviously. Like that's as an
Well,
insurance agent, that's my deductive reasoning, right? As to
no, well, in this situation, the rumor is, and what's going on is basically the insurance commissioner here in California, Ricardo Lara, is basically, and this is my understanding, is that all these insurance companies they all go to the Department of Insurance to request rate. Hey, can I raise this rate? Because for every dollar we're bringing in, every time someone has a claim, it costs more to repair their car. It costs more hourly for for the repairs, and now they're paying $5 on every dollar they bring in. So they go and ask them and say, hey, can we raise these rates so that we can at least try to level out? And my understanding is the insurance commissioner is saying, no, you can't raise it here, but I'll give it to you here,
mm,
as an opposed to here. So, so State Farm, for instance, they just said, listen, we're pulling out, because, they'll crash and burn if you're trying to insure everyone. And in my mind, I'm thinking most of them are pulling out probably because they're upset at the state itself and just saying, hey, because that's where it looks like it's going. Okay, you know what? You guys insure yourself, and it's like, this is a tough, kind of thing to navigate because if your model is primarily auto home, yeah, it's going to be tough to navigate these waters, for the next year.
okay. So again, I'm here with Ty Perkins from Switch Now Insurance. That's his agency,
Switch
guys.
insurance now, yes.
Switch Insurance Now. I apologize.
No,
And
no worries. No worries.
um, Ty, so I know previously when we spoke about this, again, this is the second part in our PNC series here. I know that you pivoted to different states, right? So you're
Yes.
you're one of the blessed ones for just doing this for a while and you having different, licenses in other states. So, not too much. I mean, of course, with everything that's going on, everybody's sweating a little bit, but for you, it was a pretty, you could transition. You had the opportunity to pivot. What would you, I guess this is going to be a two-part question. What
Yep.
would you suggest other agents do right now? Because I mean, this is the year where I've had the most PNC
Yep.
agencies reach out to me and say, "Hey, Andrew, what's up with Medicare? What's up with health insurance these
Yep.
days?" Because I either just got in, I'm sick of what's happening in California, or, I'm sick of leaving business on the table and people are asking me about Medicare, this and that. And now I finally, I have my health license for all this time. Now I finally want to use it because of all that's going on.
Yeah.
What would you give advice to agents out there? I mean, there might be people in the same level as you, anybody maybe a little bit newer than you. Like, what advice would you give them to sort of weather the storm?
So this is like a whole new day. Let me tackle the first part about people PNC agents kind of merging into the Medicare side or
Yeah.
the healthcare side. For instance, rumor on the streets in California, farmers agents are about to pivot to health. They're literally being made to pivot to health, for so many reasons, obviously, right? The
Right.
difference is like in our case, we're not captive. I used to be a farmer's agent for years, so but my partner and I, we're no longer captive agents like a farmer's agent or a State Farm or Allstate, and they're typically the captive agents are going to typically have a harder time. And I'm going to your second part as well, jumping from one state to the next, right? Because you don't have the ability to have that kind of motion. As an independent agent, you kind of want to get ahead of the curve, be a little bit smarter than the mousetrap, and get licensed in those states if you can. The ones that you really want to focus on. If you got any reach out there, it's a great time, because typically what's going to happen is we're all going to be making moves. So you're going to have the IA or the independent agents scrambling to get to other states and kind of broaden their reach. And then the captive agents, they have to stay you know, within their zone. So they're going to have to pivot within that, area of expertise that they have, right? I think, even State Farm, they're going to have to focus more on the financial side of things than just the, property and
Right.
casualty side. But to answer that, yeah, it's because I can tell you right now, I know a whole bunch of farmers agents I'm sending to you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, listen,
Yeah. Yeah. And if it
we've
goes too
had
south, trust me, I'm grabbing in and out and knocking on your door like for classes. So yeah.
it's been a weird, wild year in terms of that because I mean now at this point, I mean never did I think that I was ever gonna be in a situation where PNC people were gonna hit me up. I thought
Oh yeah. Oh,
we're
there's gonna be.
yeah, I thought we're, just, kindred souls from a different line
Yeah,
and
yeah.
out, and all of a sudden it's like, "Hey, dude, I'm actually interested." I'm like, "Okay, well, what's a good strategy to onboard a whole agent
Yeah.
that's been doing one thing, exceptionally
That's the
well?"
thing.
And it's a
Yeah.
different kind of like skill set as well, too, in my opinion. I mean, of course,
Completely.
the transition can be very easy. I mean, if you're good at what you do, I mean, there's really nothing you can be bad at in the insurance industry, like
Yeah.
if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just been crazy. I mean, we
Yeah.
finally found like a tried and true system where we can onboard PNC agents pretty easily. But man, what a year
Awesome.
it's been.
Yeah, because it's going to be a major exodus. I mean, there's also like I'm hearing rumors about commission cuts, on the
Oh,
PNC side, yeah, even with farmers and and other carriers as well. So it's not even a situation of I think what you're going to encounter is people who are reluctantly taking that L,
yeah,
and somehow that energy is going to boost them to be some of the best, health agents out there, because
absolutely.
we tend to pivot and do something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's going to be a major exodus of people, captive agents just saying, you know what, forget this, or
Okay.
captive agents staying. And either way, if they stay, they're still going to have to pivot,
That's
which
right.
still leaves people to come your way. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a pretty bumpy ride, well into 2024 from what I'm hearing. Yeah,
Wow, that is insane. I mean, it's already
yeah,
been a crazy year. I mean, in itself, right? I mean, wow.
yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm noticing that they're canceling out homeowners insurance all over the place, condo insurance all over the place. And this is every company, I mean, that I'm aware of or usually quoting with. They're just like, no, we don't want any condos anymore. We don't want it. Pacific Specialty just pulled out the other day. So I mean, your options are getting very low. What's growing is and I don't know, I'll share this with you, but what seems to be growing is the appetite for investment property.
That's what I was gonna ask you next.
Yeah, so that's one of the places we're pivoting into is the investment property, the manufactured home, area in that arena, and and we're just going to cross states with that. Obviously, we're still writing the home and auto, but you
Yeah.
know, yeah, we're gonna do a lot of pivoting this year and get the team tight, so just try to stay ahead of the curve, because we all can't go.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, I've been talking to some, pretty big PNC hitters, and right now it just feels like their main source of income or their main where they're targeting is the commercial side.
Oh
Because I'm
yeah,
asking, hey, how's homeowners going? They're like terrible. How's car insurance going? Oh, terrible.
yeah.
What about the commercial side? There's like commercial's good right now.
Commercial side is dwindling fast too. And that's the thing, the things you used to be able to quote pre-COVID, it's not even available anymore. Like
Mm,
they'll tell you right away, we are no longer writing this type of business, and then you're going to have your niche markets. Well, and you're going to a niche carrier in those cases, typically excess or, non-admitted carriers because, no one wants to touch that. So you'll probably be, good in that area for a while. But even condominium associations, a lot of carriers don't want to touch that anymore. And a lot of those are a big part of a lot of people's books, you
right,
know.
right.
So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. The moves they're making, the carriers themselves, they're making the type of moves that literally mentally will mess someone up so bad and they just lost half of everything and just make you like, you know what, I'm over it. You know what I mean? So it's going to affect everyone in a different way. Smaller agencies, bigger agencies, because everyone's downsizing. So commercial goes right along with that. It's just you're not going to see every line of commercial business disappear. Just certain stuff they don't want anymore. You
Mm,
know. So to answer that, commercial is, it's faring steady. But on the, if you're talking, small market to middle market, there's a difference there. Small market is definitely vanishing rapidly. You
wow.
know, the stuff that we used to be able to write is just, yeah, they're pulling, and then new companies are emerging too. So we would be able to normally write something with Nationwide or Farmers or, like what Allstate or State Farm would write. They're pulling those lines, and now there's these emerging little companies like Next and Coterie and, even Bieber, they're popping up and they're just taking kind of, scooping up that little business, But no,
Mm,
commercial is getting hit too.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, man, it's a tough year, and like I said, I think a lot of changes are going to be made due to people having to downsize. So
Well,
if you're one of those,
hopefully there's
yeah,
some changes.
yeah, I mean, people here, like, in our world, when we hear a carrier is saying, "Oh, we're cutting your commission by 1%," right? It's kind of like the nice way to say it because technically it's 10%.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's like, hey, wait a minute, but it depends on how big your book is. 10% can hurt, you know. So yeah, we're gonna see it. Well, we've already seen a major exodus of PNC agents just bailing, and but I think the biggest thing too, no one's really giving out appointments right now,
I see
and I
that. I
do
know that
mean
part.
no one. So even the captive agents, here's their situation: you step out into the empty hallway, all the doors are locked, and you have to stay in there for a year until a door opens because you still have your non-compete. You see what I mean? So, and if there's no carriers that open that door within a year, then you're kind of stuck. So
Wow.
I'm saying all that to say that, yeah, this is what's going to cause a huge shift in going your way.
Oh my
See what I
goodness.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, remind me not to shoot. I mean, I can't even get any remember not to like remind me to not move or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
No.
man.
I'm not
Don't touch
moving.
anything.
I'm not moving. I'm not shopping for rates, nothing,
Dude, I'm
Happy to
telling you, if you go shop for car insurance, if you didn't have a policy, even if you did, you go shop for car insurance right now, it's just like, and it's crazy because unfortunately we're battling IA, and we're going to be battling, chatbots and all kind of stuff in the future. And if the
yeah.
customer goes direct, it's likely that he'll get it cheaper than going through the agent now. So it's kind of like a little internal, turmoil going on there, and but we'll see
Mm.
how it all plays out because in the end, the true agents they'll weather it.
Yeah. So I mean, true agents of course will when is everything going to be back to normal, do you think?
Oof,
Or will it
you
ever
know
be
what?
back to normal?
The rumor is middle of 2024, but the way this is going, I can't even imagine it going back to the normal that we know, you
Yeah.
know.
The new
And let's
normal.
assume and let's assume everything did go back to normal, and the insurance commissioner finally goes, "Hey, man, go ahead and raise your rates to what you want them to be." Oh man, now you're looking at because right now a lot of these carriers, I believe, are still like rolling on like the year 2018 rates. They're getting little creep ups, here and there, but it's far distant from where they need to be to
Yeah.
stay sustainable.
Right, right.
Um, so what do? You just stop new business, but going back to where it was, I don't think it's ever gonna go
Oh,
back.
wow.
I
So it's
think
either
if Yeah, my theory is, and this is just a theory, but it's like I tell all my farmers homies and all my other homies. My theory is because they're already getting rid of like mid-level, execs and stuff like that. My theory is they're just gonna consolidate, put people and have them report to big districts. If you're in this city, then all these agents report because that's what I would do. Cuts out the money. Branding isn't what it used to be from a marketing aspect. You know,
mm,
you don't need to have a farmers agency just to show a sign that says farmers when it's all over the internet, all over the Super Bowl. You know what
yeah,
I mean? People kind of are with technology now.
got it.
So, I don't, that's my thought. I think that they'll probably just start shaking the tree and have, consolidate everything, basically.
Yeah.
Cut out what's not needed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I hear you on that. What are some lessons that PNC agents can learn from this?
Never keep all your eggs in one basket. No, I mean, I always said, you take your farmers and your all states and your state farms and some of the other top rated carriers. I always like the captive model to learn from, and I think a lot of people should take that up. See how you rank amongst other people that are doing this, and farmers is like a great template for that. But once you get to where you need to be, you're literally just starting all over like you graduated college. Now you got to go out into the real world and see what's real, and so yeah, I think I, my personal opinion is if you're in a good place right now, stay put. I wouldn't recommend jumping out there trying to move around because there's, like I said, there's nothing open. The hallway is closed right now. So I say maybe, hopefully, coming around 2024, it'll lighten up and, the market will start, opening again. But, I'm thinking a year from now. So, there's going to be a lot of storm weathering in between now and then. And,
Yeah.
hey, you may have to go Uber for a little bit on your off time, and stick your leg out. OnlyFans, I don't know.
Sell some Medicare. Sell some Medicare. One Medicare policy a day keeps the OnlyFans away, guys.
That's it. That's it. We say the same thing in the PNC world. Same thing. Seriously.
I'm not built for OnlyFans.
Yeah, me neither, bro.
I'll
Me
lose
neither.
money doing that.
A foot fetish job or something. I don't know. Like,
You
geez,
don't want
I don't
nothing
have
like
any of that. But yeah, man. But yeah, no, it is exactly how it's coming across. It is absolutely horrible. And even I think most of the viewers, when they see it, they're going to realize if they have to do any changes, it's like, wow, all shop is closed in California. I mean, not all, so I don't want to misspeak, but
Yeah.
it's tough. That's tough. So
Yeah. I mean, with all that being said, I mean, just moving forward throughout the year, what are some goals that Ty Perkins has, and pivoting, not so much pivoting, I mean, and just executing, and what are some of your goals now that the situations have changed? Well, what are some of your goals this year?
so I don't want to share everything, obviously,
Right. I
right?
mean, just give me
Um,
broad, yeah.
right. But on broad strokes, one is definitely expansion. That's so necessary because like I said, in my mind, you want to be the first and or at least closer to the front of the line when it's time to make moves. You don't want to wait until everyone realizes, oh, I can't take this and I'm going independent. And guess what? I'm going to Oregon. I'm going to Pennsylvania. So you want to, get ahead of the game. So where I'm going with it is expansion. We're definitely going to focus on at least one major niche market this year.
Mhm.
I don't. Those are the ones I don't want to speak on. But we're going to
Yep.
continue to do what. Yeah, yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, not gonna. But yeah, we're definitely going to get into somewhat of a niche market. Um, and again, we're going to continue to do what we've always done. We're going to continue to service our auto, service our home. Still do the commercial side of things, and just really focus. But it's just going to have we're going to have to pick up the pace. We have to. Because that traveling is gonna like I said, we literally just got back yesterday from Nevada.
Mhm.
So now we've got to hit Arizona, go out there, and it's just when you're on the IA side, you're doing kind of a lot yourself, getting your own creative printed, coming up with new logos, and it gets you have to kind of put all kind of hats on,
Yep.
but it's fun. It's fun, and I love it. So it's catching a flight and getting out of here for a couple of days, and going to meet up with family in Arizona or whatever it may be. That's the fun part, sitting in the office and processing stuff is the work part.
Yeah. Are you hanging out more in the California office these days, or just more the Nevada
Well,
deal?
yeah, yeah, staying way more in the California office.
Yeah.
Do this. Yeah, staying more. I'm sorry, staying more in the California office, and we'll hit 1 week at a time in Arizona, 1 week at a time in Nevada, and just do turnaround trips because California, we've got a great base in California. Does any agent who's been working in California for X amount of years. You're going to have a great
Right.
referral base for.
That's right.
Problem is when you don't have any products to sell. What can you do to pivot? Now you either pivot in place or you can pivot, move around. But I figure, if this is going to be going on for another year, I'd like to already expand. And I'm talking to agents in, Arizona and Nevada, and they're giving me their grief out there too, because it's
Oh,
not
wow.
perfect out there either. Yeah.
Yep, I hear it's nationwide.
Yep.
No
Yep.
pun intended.
Exactly. He's like, no pun intended. We're on your side. Yeah. But yeah, so it's the way I see it is easier just to get out, have fun, pivot a little bit and see and don't be afraid to step out in something new and learn something new.
Yeah.
You know, because there's nothing bad about that. You know, that's always all to the good. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of what we're gonna do. We're gonna step in some uncharted territory, you know, and have fun with it.
That's awesome. Hey, I mean, that's the response that I expected to hear from you. You know,
Yep,
just keep it moving, right?
you
Uh,
already know.
so yeah, hey Ty, again, I want to appreciate your time. So I appreciate you popping
Time,
in,
brother.
and I know that you're a busy man. You're a man. You're stone that's rolling. You
Hey
know,
man, you
you're
already
there,
know.
you're everywhere. So if I
Thank
don't
you,
catch you
brother.
here, I'll catch you there. So,
Yep.
um, cool. Thanks again for being on, Ty, and thanks for, just breaking down sort of the situation with PNC. And I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of agents that really relate with this. And this time around, as there's a lot more PNC agents, I'm sure you're gonna get more responses and maybe some questions coming your way too. So
Yep.
again,
So
guys,
good.
make some moves with your life,
Let's make
right?
moves. Let's make
Move.
moves.
All
All right.
right.
Thanks again, bro. Always
Yeah, of
much love,
course.
man, as always.
My pleasure. And guys, do not forget to subscribe and like this video if you guys thought that this is awesome and you guys want to see more videos like this. But Ty, again, appreciate your time and we are out. Thank you.
Yes, sir, brother. Thank you always.